Hello students, I welcome you all to Current Affair Lectures by Azad ICS Academy, and today we are going to see the current affairs of 6th of February. So as we have seen that there are multiple articles which are coming up on the economic survey and the budget. So if you are doing economic survey and budget, I think most of your articles of your Hindu will be covered. But in today's article, we will not be covering those articles which are related to the economic survey and the Hindu, but we will take up some other topics as well, which are very important from your exam point of view, like the first one being a green signal for India to assert its leadership or healthy leadership. So we have to understand that this is related to the union budget again, but a little not related to GDP and all of the other things, and something related to health. So that's why we'll look into it. That is the union budget 25-26 lay out a robust foundation for India to assert its leadership in global healthcare. So here we are talking about the global healthcare and innovation, right? So with the strategic announcement that bolster medical infrastructure, so we are talking here about the medical infrastructure, expand education opportunities and promote global cooperation, collaboration. So here it's not talking just about the GDP or the growth. Here it is talking about how union budget is laying a lot of foundation when it comes to healthcare and innovation. So this is something that is going to play a very, very important role. With 90,958 crore healthcare allocations, the addition of 75,000 medical seats over the next 5 years. So we are also going to increase the number of medical seats in the government colleges so that we have a lot of many medicine or people who are pursuing medicine over the next 5 years. And investment in daycare cancer centers. India is poised to enhance both accessibility and quality of care. The country will add around somewhere around 10,000 medical seats in financial year alone, underscoring its commitment to healthcare excellence. So we have to understand that what are the steps that the government is taking. The first thing is they are going to increase the number of medical seats, that is 75,000. And in this year itself, they're going to increase around 10,000 medical seats for this year itself. This is talking about how there is a commitment for healthcare excellence, right? So this is the first important thing that we need to understand. Now we have India's healthcare transformation. So how is India trying to transform, and over a period of time, what is the journey that we'll discuss? So here we need to understand that over past few decades, India has made remarkable progress in the healthcare. So there has been a progress. We are not saying that there's no progress at all, especially from 1980s, okay, as to become a global leader in medical services. The Heal India initiative. There is an initiative which is called as the Heal India. I want you to look into it. The Heal India by and Heal by India initiatives. Heal in India and Heal by India, or it is called Heal in India initiative. Basically, is aiming to position India as preferred medical destination for international patients by improving hospital infrastructure. So Heal in India. Basically here that is asking, or this is basically to, make sure that people from international patients or the patients who are not Indians can also come into India and get healed. This is Heal in India. Okay. And similarly, we also have the Heal by India initiative focuses on training and deploying Indian healthcare professionals abroad to address global shortage. So in India means people will come from outside in India and get better. Heal by India is Indian medical professionals will go to other countries and they will heal the patients there. So that is Heal by India initiative. So these are some of the things that we are trying to do so that we are having more opportunities and we are trying to address the global shortages that are there when it comes to medicine. This is something that is important. Now we are also trying to, do a lot of other things, that is in countries trying to address the global shortage of healthcare professionals by training and deploying more doctors, nurses, and paramedicals abroad. So we are trying to send a lot of other doctor professionals to other countries as well. This will ensure that India expertise support healthcare system worldwide and create new opportunities to our skilled professionals. So whoever are having very good skills here in India, they can go to other countries and also earn and help other people as well. So this is what India is trying to focus upon. So custom duty exemptions and tech outlook. So what is this? Or strengthening, we are also trying to, strengthen the cancer care and affordable medicines as well. Yes. But apart from that, recognizing the growing burden on non-communicable diseases, the budget provides the establishment of 200 daycare cancer centers in the district hospitals. So what we are trying to do is we are seeing that there is a lot of people who are suffering from cancer and they need a lot of, care. So what we are trying to do here is we are establishing 200 day care cancer centers in the district hospitals that will have the people's treatment very closer to the people, and people will be able to diagnose it better, and the patients will have better results. Okay, so apart from this, the centers will be able to early diagnose this particular cancer, and they will be also able to get the treatment as well. So we are trying to improve the survival rates and reduce the cost of this particular care. So custom duty exemptions on 36 life-saving drugs. So there are 36 life-saving drugs. Okay, those who are including the cancer, the rare disease, and the chronic conditions. That means if you are, producing these drugs, or if you're importing these drugs, there will be no much custom duty as well on this particular drugs. So the cost of these drugs will get reduced. So hence, it will benefit a lot of people, right? Including those which includes cancer and rare diseases, and also chronic conditions will lower the cost of the treatment, in turn benefiting thousands of patients across the country. Also, the addition of 13 new patient assistance programs would improve the access of critical medications of the patients as well, right? So we are also adding 13 new patient assistance programs wherein a lot of patients will get a lot of assistance as well. Now, how are we trying to, also include artificial intelligence? So here you can see that we are also trying to include the technology here. The emphasis on artificial intelligence and digital health makes a pivot moment for the future of India's healthcare. The new college centers of excellence will spread innovation in diagnosis, treatment, and research, enabling India to develop cutting-edge solutions to enhance patient care. So we're also trying to involve a lot of artificial intelligence and digital health markers. These all are going to play a very, very important role when it comes to, uh, helping the people or helping the patients especially. The writer also believes that the introduction of cutting edge technology to deliver quality healthcare has strengthened India's position as global healthcare player also. Both private and public hospitals have played an integral role in this progress. Apollo was the first hospital that launched photon therapy. Very, very important. We need to understand which is the first hospital that has introduced photon therapy, and that was Apollo. And they have played a very good role in advancing cancer care for this part of the world, and continues to attract patients from the countries such as Australia and United Kingdoms in the new fame. So these are some of the other country people are also coming here to Apollo because we have a proton therapy, right? A very good therapy that can, reduce your cancer, a very advanced cancer care treatment. Okay. And this has, asked a lot of other country people also to come into this particular field, right? So we can see that people are coming to cure cancer, right? India's healthcare sector is now a key pillar for nation's growth and development. So we have to understand that healthcare sector is one of the important pillar that we have, right? So that will help our development and growth as well. Okay. So by combining the strength of Heal India and Heal by India and technology driven innovation, the country is setting new benchmarks as well. So here we are seeing that we have a lot of events like Heal in India and Heal by India, and we're also having innovation driven care. So all of this is, setting a new global benchmarks when it comes to Indian healthcare sector. Continuing investment in the medical infrastructure, education, and technological development will help India future strengthen. So if there are more doctors who are there in India, and if they are able to go to other countries, we will get remittance. We will be able to become global health leaders as well, right? So hence, it's very important for us that we do a lot of investment when it comes to healthcare infrastructure and medicine, and in the profession of medicine. So India is not relying on improving only health. This is, so you need to understand that India is not just healing its own people, but it is healing the world. A very, very important line which you can also use in your mains, which tells us that India is not just healing the people of its own country, but it is also trying to heal the people of other countries. And this is really very important for us, that we understand that how India is trying to do this. Right? So India is not only improving the healthcare of its own citizens, but also contributing to the global health solutions. The budget lays a strong foundation for further progress by integrating technology. We are also trying to expand education. As we have seen, the number of medical seats are going to get improved. It's now a collective responsibility to build on the movement to ensure accessibility and world-class healthcare for all. So this is something that we have to understand when it comes to how India is trying to, play a very important role for healthcare system, right? Now let us see the next important article that we have, that is Trump or BRICS, the quaternary for African governments. So this is a kind of a question that we have. Beyond the short-term volatility and uncertainty created by US, President Donald Trump's tariff mechanization, it likely to have a longer-term trend in the world, splitting into two trade blocks is accelerating. So here we need to understand that we have to understand there is Africa, and Africa is UPSC's favorite topic, and UPSC will keep asking you a lot of things about Africa. Point number one. And recently also we have seen that in Democratic Republic of Congo, there are a lot of issues that are happening. We'll also discuss about that in upcoming lectures, or maybe whenever if I get time, if I am able to do it, I will try to do that as well. Africa as a separate topic itself. Okay. The articles that we are discussing here is about Africa's mineral wealth. The impact of US trade policy. As we are, all have seen that how new Donald Trump has come, and new administrator Donald Trump has come, and what he is trying to do in a lot of tariff changes. He's trying to, increase lot of trade or change a lot of trade policies under Donald Trump. And this, is, and the continent struggle to choose between the global powers and the resource development. So whether what to be chosen, that is something that is a problem for Africa. Okay. So Donald Trump's trade approach, including tariff, create a situation where countries must choose between supporting the US or aligning with China and BRICS nations. So here Africa is now kind of in a confusion whether they have to choose USA because there are new trade policies, or whether they should choose China and BRICS and other countries. African country rich in minerals face a dilemma, right? They want to develop their resources, but also wish to stay neutral when it comes to global divide. They do not want to, support this or this. They want to stay neutral. So we have to discuss about what is Africa talking about this. Okay, that presents a dilemma, as we all have seen. Okay, for Africa, whether they should stay with, USA, or whether they should stay with other countries for their development. Okay, Africa holds a significant global minerals. It includes 20% of world's copper. Very, very important. So here I want you to understand 20% of the global copper reserves, for about same aluminium raw materials. Okay, similar kind of aluminium raw materials, 50% of manganese and cobalt, 90% of the platinum group metals, 36% of chromium, as well as reserves of lithium, uranium, gold, and rare earth materials or minerals. So all these are basically present in Africa itself. Now, but developing its mineral resources has been often too challenging, giving political instability and corruption, poor infrastructure, lack of capital. So these are some of the issues that Africa is basically facing. What are the issues that it has? There is no political stability. There's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of poor infrastructure, lack of capital, legal framework, and making a long-term investment hard to justify. So these are some of the issues that Africa is basically facing. However, the increased appetite of the world for minerals is likely to set off new scramble for Africa. This time, Africans will have more to say how it unfolds. So here we need to understand that there are a lot of challenges that it is facing, as we have already discussed. Now, what is it exactly talking about? See, there is not beggars. So Africa is not basically beggars. So Western countries, especially US, offers capital, expertise, and experience in mining. So when you see USA, they have a lot of resources like technology. Okay, they have a lot of expertise. They can help Africa in mining, etc. But Trump's tariff and threats to cut aid making work with US harder for African nations. So obviously, because of the Trump and his tariff plans, it is going to become very difficult for the Africans to work with USA. Trump's winner takes all approach to global relation makes it more difficult for African countries to get mutual beneficial deals with USA. So if Africa is trying to do deals with USA, there is going to be a little issues when it comes to Africa because of whatever policies that Trump is basically making. Now, South Africa's growing independence in resource management. South Africa resource minister, okay, here it is very clearly mentioned that is Minister Geward Mantashe said Africa would withhold minerals from USA if Trump cuts aid. So basically, what this particular minister is suggested that Africa should withhold minerals from USA if the aid is reduced. He argued that Africa should not be treated as a beggar. So he says that we should not be treated as beggars. We are not beggars. He said that we are not just beggars. Mr. Mantashe said that we cannot continue to debate these minerals based on the dedicates of some developed nations as if there is no aspiration to accelerate Africa's industrialization, he added. So he is talking about how he says that you cannot consider Africa as beggars and we are going to be independent. That's what the minerals minister is talking about. This reflects a desire for Africa to take control of its resources and use them to drive industrialization and development rather than follow some external power. We also have to discuss about what is China's role and its impacts on Africa. China has been heavily invested in Africa's mining sector. We all have to understand this. However, China prefers to use its own workforce and process. This also exports raw material ore from process them in China and limiting the benefit for African countries. So China is also playing very bad game there. So here it says that, okay, the people who are going to be there are Chinese people. Okay, and it is going to take all the raw materials to China and work there. It is not giving much, resources to Africa or much development to Africa. There is no potential for African nations to introduce law that require foreign companies to process minerals locally. This could ensure that the Africa benefits more from its resources. So hence we can see that there is a lot of issues that all the people are trying to exploit Africa and not do any kind of development there. So what should be the conclusion that Africa needs to do? Okay, so that is African mineral rich resources position is a key player in the global trade. So the continent must strategically choose between the Western and Chinese led trade blocks to secure sustainable economic development. So Africa needs to take some kind of steps that it has to understand that its role and it has got its own resources, and how to manage that resources is supposed to be taken care by Africa and not depend on any other countries like the Western USA or the China, because both of them are not interested in the development of Africa and they're only interested in their development of their own, which is going to leave Africa behind. So hence Africa needs to make sure that it is using its resources properly, right? So these are the two important articles that we have discussed here, and we do not have much other topics. So I will see you in the next class. Please comment in the sections if you have any issues or anything. Thank you so much.